That she is. Welcome to Comically Dark. I am Jared. Excuse me. We got all for the boys. We got Taladia Plays. What's up, brother?
What's up, everyone?
And we got Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up, man?
What is up?
And we got JJheat Plays. What is up, my brother?
Flame on. How's everybody doing tonight?
Very well. So we got quite a show in line for you guys today. So first, I want to start this. I'm going to start with a little project that Britt and I are working on. So Britt and I don't expect this to work, honestly. And it's just like, okay, it's something to try. What could it help? So as you guys know, Britt and I have been very critical of Tom King's Wonder Woman run. So, hey, what's up, Real Talk Productions? We started a hashtag.
RTP.
The hashtag is called hashtag King Off Wonder Woman. And
is that even worth making a hashtag? Because you know he's likely going to get dropped off the book by this time next year, right?
No, but I still want to do it.
Okay.
Because I don't want him. The point is to try and get the Wonder Woman fandom mobilized enough that he gets kicked off before he can do some real permanent damage.
Oh god. Sorry, I'm playing with Grok and I just created something truly cursed.
Later. But anyway, so that's what I'm working on right now. Britt and I will give a little more information on Monday's episode of Super Wonder. So anyway, so you guys want to talk about Sonic outperforming Mufasa, Creature Commandoes 4, or the Superman trailer?
We'll start with Sonic.
Go on.
No, JJheat, do it.
We'll go ahead and start with Sonic. Go ahead and get out of the way. Again, this is not spoilers because we don't even know if you played Sonic Adventure 2, you know the story. But just in case.
Well, first off, I haven't seen the movie. We're talking about Sonic outperforming Mufasa. So, of course, I had to title it like this. Sonic kills Mufasa.
At the box office.
And the line is...
No, I'm leaving it like that. Yeah, and the lion sleep tonight. But yeah, how about Sonic? And we were talking about this on next show. How about that Sonic started off with such controversy with that first design, and then it becomes like this massive movie franchise now.
Yeah. That one change made a difference.
Indeed.
Turns out listening to your fans actually works out.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? But yeah, and I'm interested in seeing it because obviously I'm a big fan of Shadow the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Jared,
I actually had. I'm not sharing right now. I actually had a Shadow the Hedgehog action figure. So I had Shadow and I had Werewolf Sonic from Sonic Unleashed.
You had a werehog?
I had a werehog. That is correct. Because I had that game and that was a fun as hell game. I preferred Shadow the Hedgehog. It's like when you get to use his Chaos Blast, you know what he says when you charge it up? Death to all that oppose me. And I'm like, oh, this is hardcore.
This is like General Zod.
When you got hit, he would go, damn it. And then if you fall down, you go, damn, not here. But I really dug it. It was such a ballsy game because you could blow up Air Force One in that game.
Did you
Get
have
off my plane.
Did you have the Akira bike?
Yes, it does have the bike. I think it has the bike.
Akira references are cool.
I know when you play as Shadow in Sonic 06, he has the bike, which I maintain that is an underappreciated gem. That was actually my first Sonic game. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Wait, Sonic?
I had fun playing it. Wait, I had fun playing as every character except Sonic. Those super fast moments were like dragged out of the depths of hell.
You need to play Sonic Generations. They have a new Sonic Generations X. So they had they recently did a remake of Sonic Generations. They have a whole Shadow series of levels, including a level pack that's voiced by Keanu Reeves.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, JJheat.
As I was going to say, from a story perspective, again, the story, if you actually play all 3 campaigns leading up to Solaris, Sonic 06 is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
From a story perspective. Technically, with game mechanics, the Elise subplot arguably had no business going as far as it did, but that's a separate conversation.
Oh, you mean how about when she kissed Sonic?
Like I said, a lot of mistakes were made with subplots and other factors.
You make
The
it
Sonic,
so
the Sonic
easy,
campaign is the
Jade.
weakest link of the 3. I'm sorry.
Yes, it is. Shadow was great. Silver was mad, but Shadow was great.
The problem with the game is it makes it way too easy. It makes itself way too easy to be made fun of. There's so many like glaring problems that it opens itself up for mockery.
Like it really does. And the technical problems when the game came out, it's kind of like Mass Effect 3, really, to where the production was a rush job for the anniversary, but God, it was so much worse. You could argue Mass Effect 3 was a cash grab, but Sonic 06's production was a nightmare.
Yeah, I could say that.
Yeah,
But but the point is, it's cool seeing Sonic perform so well that it's outperforming even a Disney movie.
it's outperforming a Disney movie. Ladies and gentlemen, this shows that even
arguably, maybe Mufasa shouldn't have been made because who was asking for a Lion King prequel movie?
And I think that's also a larger indication of how people are rejecting the live action remakes.
Yeah, because really, why would I go see the live action remake when I have the material? I don't really care.
Yeah. It's the
But
one
that's just
time
me.
where we have an X at home is actually better.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but here's- sorry, Joe.
yeah, go ahead, Eladia.
I was gonna say this shows that even Disney, the most invincible company in the world, can be
Not
dethroned.
that invincible.
But you know what I mean, Jared.
If Disney bleeds, you can
Yeah.
kill it.
Jesus.
Even Disney can bleed.
Don't
Like-
make Disney a predator. They're
Tell
not
me.
that cool.
So Sonic was like, "Tell me, Disney, do you bleed?"
You
You
will.
will.
I
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The joke.
It's
was
Yeah.
amazing how lines from the Snyderverse can just be applied to literally everything.
It just literally shows up.
It's almost like Snyder was a blueprint.
For life itself, isn't that kind of interesting?
Oh,
So what you don't
God.
know is that when God was creating
Oh,
the
my-
world in 7 days, what happens is he actually used the future blueprint of Zack Snyder to imprint onto the world. Anyway, Real Talk. Real Talk says people went to Mufasa to watch the Superman trailer. That's true.
Yeah.
Because reportedly there was so when they aired the Superman trailer for that, there was also more scenes.
No,
that's
not
really cool.
reportedly. It is confirmed. There's pictures of the scenes out there. So that it's actually confirmed.
Yeah, I know. We watched it. We looked at it on UTC tonight.
Sorry, you were
Actually,
saying
you know
it's reportedly.
Screw it. Let's talk about the Superman trailer. So
Hey, perfect transition.
yeah, I know. As I said on UTC, I'm going to restate it here. Gunn impressed me severely with that trailer. I was impressed. Like, it wasn't too jokey, which obviously, as you guys know, was my concern going into this. Now, obviously, here's the concern. We're not out of the woods yet because movies like The Flash and Wonder Woman. Hey, what's up, Tevia? Happy holidays. Movies like The Flash, Wonder Woman 1984, they have had great trailers. However, when the movie comes out, they underperform. So we're not out of the woods yet. I would say it was a good trailer. It got me on board and a little hype for the movie. That's all I'll say there.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, go ahead and go.
I
go ahead.
did like the trailer, but my biggest concern is still the movie looks way overstuffed, not just with characters but with plots and villains.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, there is a lot going in that movie, and I'm wondering, excuse me, will Gunn be able to balance all that? That's the problem.
Yeah, so like Gunn is most well known for like great ensembles, but the problem is he's trying to turn Superman into an ensemble film when he shouldn't be.
Yeah, and I understand kind of what it's going for. Now, I will say I think maybe more people were like a little on board with Superman. The one absolute trait that I see people complaining about, and Nick, there was your complaint. It's Guy Gardner's hair looks stupid.
I
Yeah,
agree.
and I don't really like the cope online. Like, it's supposed to look that way. You guys wanted a comic booky movie, and now they're getting like an accurate comic. Like they're trying to pull that line. I'm just like, no.
Some
please
things
stop.
should not be carried over from the comics. I'm just gonna say it there. Call it a hot take. I don't care. But anyway, so JJheat, since you weren't on UTC, why don't you give me your thoughts on the Superman trailer?
As for me, it definitely played. Nostalgia is a very tricky thing. Superman 06 learned this the hard way with Superman Returns. Nostalgia is a very tricky thing, especially when you're trying to appease and market two separate generations. You can use Superman 06 as a base. I mean, Superman 78, excuse me. Superman 78 as a base, but don't over rely on it. This is a very slippery slope.
That's
Because
the trap that Returns fell into.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only you have to balance two, arguably three generations of from interactive media, but you also have to balance the whole Snyder fan transition, for lack of a better term, Jared.
Mm-hmm.
From a social media and commerce perspective, this thing is going to have way more eyes on it than just the box office alone. If this movie flops, knowing Zaslav, the DCU will crumble like almost immediately.
Guns says much, and honestly, I'm gonna make a Jared prediction. If Superman bombs in the event it bombs, this is when I think WB sells off the DC brand.
I think we're kind of out of that territory. Like, I think, given what we know of the trailer so far, I think at worst it'll underperform. I don't think it's going to outright bomb. I think it'll either break
even if it underperforms. Because here's the vital thing. And William from the Sci-Fi Center said on my channel and on his channel, he said, "Here's the problem with Zaslav hyping this movie up. If he's telling his investors, which he in all likelihood is, that this is going to be $1 billion movie, trying to hype up their confidence, and it severely underperforms, or like does like let's say 400 million, they are going to go, what the hell? You told us this was going to be $1 billion, and it's very not $1 billion."
Yeah.
Okay, I think Superman Legacy will do a bit more than Black Adam numbers. Come on.
Okay.
I think it'll do less than MOS.
So what does everyone think it's going to do? Like what's the box office predictions? Like the updated ones. For me, I'm thinking 750, 800. That's my current prediction.
If I'm being commercially honest, given how social media is a very powerful factor of word of mouth, I'd argue 675, maybe right at 700 million, best case scenario.
Okay, fair enough.
How about you, Talia?
I think Superman will probably make, if I have to be realistic, 650.
Right. Same here.
650. I think that's the real, which is realistic. Optimistic is 700, but that's the maximum.
Optimistic. If I'm being optimistic, best case scenario, it does the numbers of Matt Reeves, the Batman.
700.
Yeah, around that number. Assuming it does, that's the best. Now, obviously, it could make $1 billion. It could be like that drop in the pan where it makes $1 billion. And you know what? If it does, hey, more power to you. Great job. But that's just me. Now, again, Gunn was very clear that if this doesn't perform, they're not going to be able to make movies anymore, which is probably like what'll probably happen is most of the DCU projects will be canceled, and they'll stick with, like, honestly, here's the thing. Well, if Superman fails, here's the unfortunate truth. We're going to get a lot of Batman movies.
I mean, Batman does pay the bills.
That's the thing. It's like, because it'll show, yeah, we will get a Superman movie eventually, but first, won't be written or directed by James Gunn. Honestly, I feel like if this movie underperforms, they will tell him ahead of time start looking for a replacement, and then they'll just like find someone else to direct a Superman movie. Now, here's the thing. I do feel a little bit like some in the Snyder fandom are being a little too like short-sighted, because if Gunverse fails, there is a very real possibility that WB starts to not see the value in heavily investing in DC, so they don't bring Snyder back.
Like, I understand Snyder fans not wanting to support the movie because they feel jaded, blah blah blah,
and that's fair enough. That is your right.
But I have seen some people be like a little bit, I don't know, malicious or whatever. They start acting like how the anti-Snyder people act, and it's a bit disturbing.
The hilarious part, though, is that when we bring up arguments against, when like Snyder fans bring up arguments against against gun stuff, like legit criticisms, the gun fans start resorting to a lot of arguments that Snyder fans used against those people. But all right,
it's all relative.
He says, I will say, shout out to Gunn releasing Batman and Creature Commandos in the same week as the trailer. Yeah, well, we'll talk about that. Cameron says, hi guys, if it fails, DC should just quit, try and make a cinematic universe. Yeah, my prediction is that if they don't sell DC wholeheartedly, they'll just stop with the shared universe for a little bit and then just make one-off films, and then if it does well, then they'll look into like, can we introduce other characters in this?
I will go. Well, before we transition to this last topic, I just want to say this: nostalgia aside, this really shouldn't be an ensemble film. Like trying to add. This is basically the roster for Justice League International, so I will address them as such, even if they're technically Maxwell Lord's cronies. But this should not be an ensemble film. It really should not.
Yeah, and Kirby brings up a good point. They should do what the DC AMU did, DC Anime did pre-DC AMU. Yeah, exactly. Do like
pure standalone, direct adaptation, pure standalone. I see where you're coming from, Kirby.
Yeah. Real Talk says, yeah, I've been getting a lot of hate since expressing my hype for Superman. As if, yeah, exactly. I've always said, here's the thing, I'm going to if Gunn does stuff that I think is a very positive direction, I'm going to tell you it's a good thing. Like this trailer. This was a good thing. It was a fun trailer. I enjoyed it. I'm not going, but that doesn't mean I don't want Zach to come back and do his stuff as well. Because here's the thing. Let's assume Superman does great and the DCU does great. Then that can open the door to like Zaslav, to like Gunn investing in Elseworlds. And guess who? Let me finish. And guess who can continue as an Elseworlds for one movie?
I think that's a bit of a reach.
That's a reach.
No, I think
we can have. Oh, it's not really a choice thing yet. It's not really. We're not at the point as if there is a choice, or there shouldn't be a choice, because there is an option here where everyone gets what they want.
Okay, let's actually humor this. Let's humor this from a business standpoint. July, just let me have this, and I will hand you the mic. I appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead.
In a realistic scenario, with Warner Brothers tanking as a gesture from a logistic standpoint, there's too many
Superman taking or WB tanking.
WB. I'm referring to.
Okay, good. Just want to be clear.
Thank you. Factoring Warner Brother WBD. Excuse me. Factoring WBD. The very notion of going back to Snyder, even for an Elseworlds project, granted, is not
for one movie.
Even for one movie, granted, is not as bad as the Hamada fiasco. It's not as bad as it was then, but still, clashing egos and executives are in play. The very notion of bringing Snyder back, even for an Elseworld project, is a commercial bloodbath waiting to happen, and arguably a PR nightmare.
Yeah, the problem is Snyder has been politicized. He and it's not like a right or left thing. He is a polarizing figure. Just the mere mention of Snyder going anywhere close is enough to cause debate, like heated debates, and it's
Well-
not something Warner Bros. Wants to deal with.
Here's my counterpoint. When Gunn openly said, "Oh yeah, Man of Steel was one of my influences for this movie," the very fact that at least the head of DC Studios is openly talking positively about Zack gives me a little bit optimism. Now, is it a little too much? Yeah, but also here's the thing, and Real Talk brings up a good point. If that were true, why is Snyder back at WB making a 300 series?
Now, again, you could still have Snyder and Cavill be on good terms with other projects. They're just not going to come back to DC.
Yeah, I'm just tired of like the whole back and forth. Like we get a whiff of anything. Oh, Snyderverse is back on! Oh my god, we got like.
I'm not saying it's back on, Nick. I'm saying in the event that this happens, there is a pathway to at least Justice League 2 wrapping everything up, and then we're done.
Okay, we'll likely return to this conversation, but Talati, you had something you wanted to say?
So yes, I was going to say I was hyped for the trailer, and I did get called different names under you name it under the sun because they said, "Oh, well, you're not a Snyder fan, and you're not a DC." I'm like, dude, if I'm gonna enjoy DC, I will enjoy DC.
I'm like, you are aware DC existed before Snyder, right?
Yeah, I literally had to say that. I literally said there was things before Snyder. There was other things that I enjoyed. Case in point, Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, which I enjoyed. But what I'm trying to get at is, I enjoyed the James Gunn trailer, and I'm like thinking, I'm getting name called under the sun because the fact is, they didn't like the fact that I was liking something else and not just pushing for the Snyderverse stuff. I want to see the Snyderverse restored as much as the next guy. Trust me on that, right?
Same
But
here. I literally have it in going in my crawl right now.
You see, I would like to see that be restored, but also at the same time, you gotta, I also think people should respect what we're getting coming as well, because that's
the other thing again. If this fails again, WB is not going to want to just bring in Snyder to replace him.
Exactly. Yeah.
My thing is, would I like to see the Snyderverse restored? Yes, but with no information, I just feel like we're spinning our wheels. We're constantly just saying the same things, and it's just getting exhausting.
Okay,
the same thing over and over again.
Fair enough. Agree to disagree on that. And yes, you can have it both ways. That 100% works. Thank you, Tevia.
Thank you, Tevia.
Bottom line is, I'm a little more confident in the Superman movie being enjoyable, and based on the trailer, because again, while I have slight issues with them using the John Williams theme again for like a Superman movie, it's better, leagues better than having a pop song in the trailer.
And at least it's a new remix.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like he just put it in there. It's a little more, again, he modernized it. You know what? That's why I'm like, okay, fine. And he said, yeah, there's a lot of, and Gunn himself said that like there's barely any score in this, but they did remix the Reeves film and the Reeves theme. And honestly, if you're playing it safe, like this movie has to, I kind of get where he's coming from.
I would not be surprised if he mixes in some Man of Steel themes as well.
Yeah, and Kirby, I did disagree with that because if it does happen, most likely you can have Zack go, this is the conclusion. We're concluding the story. We're done. There's nothing else I'm going to do. And then there you go. Then everyone just moves on. Because if Zack says, I'm not going to do anything more in this universe, yeah, okay, fine. Okay, as long as we get a closure to this story, I don't care how we get it. You can give me comic books or animated movies. I don't care. But anyway,
please make the movie colorful and comic booky,
and
not green.
Yeah, exactly.
One last thing I want to say before we move on. I don't think Nathan Fillion could pull off the bowl cut. He looks like he looks like that one kid from Ned's Declassified. You know you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, come on.
I know you're out about JJheat. I know you.
And you know what's hilarious? Guy Gardner doesn't even have that haircut anymore.
Yeah, he grew out of that in the 90s. He got his redesign from that cut in the 90s.
Here is Guy Gardner's hair now. which Felian couldn't pull this off either, but still, it's better than the stupid bowl cut.
I mean, I think Nathan could probably make that work. But
That he
Like, I think-
probably could.
acting wise, I think Nathan is perfect for Guy Gardner.
Yeah,
Like just from like a character standpoint, I could totally see Nathan pulling off Guy Gardner, but that haircut is doing him no favors.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, everything else looks good there. So let's transition to our next topic. Yes, better than Haltron. Yeah, so you guys want to talk about Creature Commando? Okay, well, yeah, Creature Commandos is the last one. So here's why I'm talking about Creature Commandos. First off, this is the last episode of Creature Commandos. I will watch because I'm not interested. After Gunn used sex to promote the show, I'm like, I'm done. I am done with. I was only watching to episode 4 because reportedly this is the last time. Spoiler alert! This is the last time that we see Cersei, and obviously as a host, a co-host of Super Wonder Legacy, I kind of need to watch any Wonder Woman content.
Have you heard the rumors that episode 7 will deal with Pattinson's Batman?
I'll believe that when I see it. Anyway, as I was saying, as the host of Super Wonder Legacy, I have to watch all Wonder Woman content, even if it's crappy Tom King stuff.
Have you guys done an episode on the Adrian Flicky pilot?
I know what you're talking about.
We might, but
It's Wonder Woman content.
we discussed it briefly for during an episode on Wonder Woman's like media appearances. It's not enough to do a full 2.5 to 3 hour episode on.
Maybe a brief segment, but not a whole stream.
Yeah, it was a brief segment because we did one on like the many times Wonder Woman has been adapted. It's mature. No, it's not. There's a difference between mature and what Hollywood thinks is mature. Exactly. That's the thing. Because people were trying to use The Boys as an as a counterpoint, and I'm like, no, that's not the way this works, guys.
The Boys is very immature, to be fully honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2000s edginess in its purest form. That's really all The Boys is.
It's a mockery of 2000s edginess.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, again, so I was like, I'm not interested. So anyway, so episode 4. It basically gives the origin for Weasel, as if anyone cared. But here's the thing. So Britt posted this in the Super Wonder Trinity chat. So I'm going to read this. So we got a little more information on like the nightmare vision. It's funny how that ends up, right?
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
I am very much enjoying this. And the producer of Creature Commandos addressed like all the characters dead and stuff. He goes, we spent a lot of time on that sequence, as you might guess. I don't know that it's representative necessarily of anything James has planned in the DCU outside of the show, just because I simply do not know. But a lot of fun. Excuse me. To be able to work with those characters, and in particular, the way that we're dealing with them was like, that's not something you get a lot to do. We went through a lot of different iterations of characters, you know, and there are characters that we had that ultimately aren't in there. So, hey, Bell Rev, how are you? It's been a while. Very, very good to see you. Doing my live rounds. How are you guys? Doing very well. How are you? Gunn is getting away with every single thing. Here's my issue, ladies and gentlemen. That is my issue.
Yeah, that's a very fair point.
Mm-hmm. It's people are excusing the same stuff that Snyder got blasted for beforehand, and that's where I really have issues. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is confusing and complicated, but yeah, I know. I'm getting over a cold, JJheat. That's why. But my issue there is that, okay, these are our first time seeing these freaking characters in the DCU. Mm-hmm. And we see their corpses, their impaled corpses. I don't care about Peacemaker because we've already seen him argue. Because since the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker are canon, it's not his first appearance. but Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are all impaled on pikes.
I mean, people are making the same arguments about the Superman trailer. Like the very first shot is basically he's wounded. Like they're making Yamcha comparisons, and like he's doing like the Yamcha pose or whatever. And honestly, I think they kind of have a point there. Like the very first time you see Superman, he's all wounded and whatnot. Like that's really not how you should start a trailer.
How about the fact that the first time we see Wonder Woman is an impaled corpse? I'm sorry, because as someone that has had to deal, yes, we've seen this before, just done better. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Bell Rev. Yeah, that's the only thing that's new is the characters. Yeah, exactly. So who's the one who impaled these heroes? I have no idea, nor do I care. But we also got a little more information. Now, another completely sad Superman. Not that I have a problem with that, but again, been done. Yeah, exactly. And done much better. What you want to say, JJheat?
I'm just going to say this. Even if everything goes well, best case scenario, the DCU starts off, we get the whole chapter and leading up to the Justice League movie. Best case scenario, Wonder Woman is not going to get a solo movie in chapter 1. She's going to be the POV character in Justice League. That's best case scenario. Based on what's already been announced, and if everything goes forward, she'll get a brief camp, she'll get referenced, she'll get a cameo in Paradise Lost towards the end. But other than that, she'll be a POV character in Justice League unless they decide to make that Martian Manhunter and adapt New Frontier.
Well, the other thing here is, and Corey brings up a good point. Yeah, they disrespected Cersei, because here's the thing. Cersei is super powerful, and so Gunn's excuse was that the reason why Weasel was able to take out Cersei is because he was moving so fast she couldn't use her hands. I'm sorry, the animation did not communicate that. He looked like he was moving at regular speed. And I'm like, with this, I'm operating within the rules of the universe you have created. She gets her ass kicked by a flea bag.
Yeah, like
why?
It just doesn't work.
I'm like, stick to your own internal logic. That's it. That's all I ask. It's just when your own internal logic is that here's this super powerful sorceress, but she gets beaten by Weasel when he's visually not moving that fast. He wasn't moving any faster. Hey, well, I said spoiler alert in the beginning of this segment, so you're good. But well, actually, this was episode 3 when he beat the crap out of Cersei. So there you go.
We haven't even covered the episode yet. I get, unless you're, but yeah, we haven't really covered episode 4 yet. But I will say this: Cersei, if you just had Dr. Phosphorus burn Cersei till she was captured, fine, that's believable because Phosphorus is living, walking radiation. But Weasel is a mute. Is basically. I'm probably gonna get flack for this, but he's basically DC's Rocket Raccoon, at least in this context.
Except less annoying. Oh, and they pronounce her name Cersei, not Cersei. It pissed me off. Yes, it does. That's a good point, Bell. That is a very good point. Oh,
well, you don't like it when filmmakers decide to get all fancy. Like, how can you not love Namor?
Oh, you mean Ero?
Who?
From the M. Night Shyamalan.
I will not be appearing on this stream anymore going forward.
By the way, so here is
that was
image,
a joke.
By the way.
That was a joke.
Here is the image from this, and they've hinted at this isn't exactly that. So there you go. So we have here. So literally an hour before we went live, right now, they said in there is also Wally West's Flash. So Tevia, you'll love this. Wally, the first time we see, I don't know where he is in this image, but Wally, the first time we see Wally West, and Starfire and Supergirl are their corpses.
Well, I guess you could say Gunn really stuck it to him.
Mm-hmm. Stick around. We'll have a few laughs.
So
reminds me of.
I guess you could say they died pretty hard.
Yeah, exactly. What did you want to say, Taladia?
So can I mention this though? Like, before we go into the spoilers though, all I can say is, I did feel sorry for this week's episode for Weasel. I'm sorry. That's my personal take. I did feel sorry for him because the way he was treated.
All right, do you want to do spoilers? Let's do spoilers. All right.
Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning.
So, how many of you here have seen The Suicide Squad? I'm answering this for a very specific reason.
No, I haven't seen it.
Do you mind if I spoil it, Nick?
Yeah,
No,
I
I
don't
don't
care.
mind.
So the reason why Weasel is on the Suicide Squad is that apparently he had like killed a bunch of kids. It's like apparently the reasoning giving is that like 827 kids. In Creature Commandos this week, spoiler, it's revealed that he wasn't killing them, he was saving them. The cops just thought he was killing them because he was moving them out of fire with his teeth. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. It doesn't really make me like I mean, I already didn't like anything associated with Suicide Squad, so it didn't really do anything for me. So I'm like, I really don't care.
It's sympathetic, especially in a scenario where this was a tragedy involving children and the cops needed a scapegoat. So yeah, Weasel got dealt a bad hand and couldn't properly defend himself because he can't speak or articulate. So yeah, it's there. So I will agree with Taladia on that. But at the same time, it doesn't, because there was no adult supervision. This was literally children playing on a playground. It takes you out of the whole experience. The only real adult in that situation is some rando who takes matters into his own hand and literally starts the fire, which leads to the explosion.
Exactly. It's just like, it's one of those things where I'm watching this and I'm like, I'm just getting really annoyed. But anyway, so let's go to a good Q&A moment. So I'm going to go grab some water. In the meantime, you guys speak, please.
Okay.
All right.
So
Water bats in the chat, everybody. Water bats in the chat.
no.
Yes. Spam Wonder Bat. Spam Wonder Bat, guys.
You mother effer!
I wasted no time.
Here I am, dealing with a cold, and you exploit that, you heartless bastard.
You're goddamn right.
Language.
I said dang.
I've said this
Exactly,
before.
Cameron.
Just want to let it know that I said it and nobody else. So if you're gonna punish anybody, punish me. Friendly fire is not
So
on.
while I go grab some water or like anything to soothe my throat, you guys answer questions, ask questions, do whatever you got to do.
Okay. So
Why is Wonder Bat so awesome?
Besides that, man. Besides that, that's
Okay.
so
Yay.
so what I thought, honestly, like, I gotta ask you guys this,
Thank you,
right?
Corey.
How did you guys feel about the fact that Wally West is now confirmed to be the Flash in the DCU compared
It's
to
certainly a
being...
nice change of pace.
About time. That's all I will say.
Look what I've started. You guys are awesome.
Hey, that's not me, Jared. That's Nick.
It's all me, baby. It's all me.
You claim that. That's on you. But
man.
guys, what do you guys think about Wally West being the Flash? Tevia says, I am happy Wally West is the Flash in the DCU. Do you guys think that they're gonna go for the approach of the DCAU? Oh,
Just kidding.
I was about to say worth it.
Oh, Corey, god damn it.
Jared, do you see what I did in the chat? I actually got it going.
I know what you did. Okay, the
It's not
joke's
me.
over, guys. Come on.
Yes, the boss is back. Super Wonder is canon again.
I was being sensible, so I'm just saying I was asking genuine questions.
Somebody had to be the adult in the room.
I appreciate Taladia taking this with a modicum of seriousness. Honestly,
They're talking about people who wear their underwear on the outside. I think seriousness went out the window.
not my Superman.
Hashtag not my Superman.
Yeah, no, actually, hashtag King off Wonder Woman.
Oh, you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, that's a good.
I did a little bit, but all right. So here's the thing. Here are my instructions if you guys would like to join with this. Do not tag his editor. Do not. Because I don't want it to lead to harassment. only person you should be tagging is DC. So tag the DC Twitter account, post the worst things that have happened in the Tom King Wonder Woman run. Post it. There are 2 hashtags actually. It is hashtag King off Wonder Woman and hashtag Retcon Trinity. Completely get rid of her. That's it. Because did you remember when I talked about the punching her mother in the face? Did you know that in that in the panel right next to it, Trinity is punching Diana in the face? So I'm like, if you're trying to make me like this character, you're doing the complete opposite, dude. And so I got a modicum of hope when King was on my Buddy Roberts show. And he said that like the first couple of issues are taking place from the Sovereign's perspective. So I thought, and thank you, Corey, I do agree. I thought he was going to retcon out about that stuff. So, excuse me. The problem is the issue where Trinity punches her mother in the face is not from the Sovereign's perspective. It was in Trinity's stupid special issue. So would DCA even listen? Here's the thing, Cameron. If we make a big enough, Britt and I have ranted about how DC pays too much attention to Twitter, and I'm telling you right now, most of the DC most of the Wonder Woman fandom on Twitter is very anti Tom King's Wonder Woman. So if we can get enough of these people on board, yeah, it can. We just need to
Really
get enough
rally
people
the
on
troops.
board.
But is that
If it's
really?
Oh, sorry. You guys go ahead. I'll type it out, bro. Chat.
Is there even a victory in that? Now, granted, because all that really amounts to is the book getting relaunched. Best case scenario, the book gets relaunched.
Relaunch, because what that does, soft reboot. You can decide what you want to bring in, what you don't want to bring in. You can even decide let's get it shelve Trinity and bring her back later. That's it. But all I'm saying, all I care about right now, we're at the point where all I care about is Tom King never writing an issue of Wonder Woman ever again. No. But that's it.
Hold on. Sorry to cut you off, Jared. Sadie Sink.
But okay.
Hey, I put it in a private chat. Instead of saying it. So.
You did.
Cameron says, hang on. Cameron says, why did they put him on Wonder Woman again? Because here's the thing. Here's why. Wonder Woman is historically not that big of a priority for DC in terms of her comic book run. She should be more.
She's a training wheels book.
She should be, but she's not. And as Nick indicated, editors use her as like a training book for editing. Now, here's the problem. So they thought that putting like him or not, Tom King is a well-known comic book writer. They thought that putting him on it would lead to like a massive sales boost. And it did, up until the point where Tom King started putting Tom Kingisms. And now it is trending downward, which the way I see it, I know Tom King keeps saying he wants to write 100 issues. And I'm like, that ain't happening, brother, under any circumstance. And say you, Corey. You guys have a great nice one to say I'm not leaving stream. Oh, okay. But yeah, I am 110% sure he is not going to be he's not going to reach 100 issues of this run. Most he's going to reach is 50. I hope it's much less than that. It is interesting how they confirmed that his story with Sovereign is ending at 19. Go ahead, JJheat.
I will say this: outside of tie-ins for Absolute Power, the Sovereign storyline completely bombed logistics-wise. Like the only way you could really save this run is if you completely abandoned Sovereign altogether. Maybe.
That's why I'm saying I want to wait and see what's the next story after the Sovereign, because it is confirmed. Sovereign is ending at issue 19. So I get that they're going to kind of use It's not meaningless, Garantina. But from what so when it comes to not 19 is the end, and Tevye, I just said that. So what I think is that let's see what happens with issue 20 because it could be a bad arc. Most likely, it's just a bad run because Tom King does not understand Wonder Woman. So what I think is I think what they'll do is they'll let him complete the Sovereign story, see how he does outside the Sovereign story, because I get the feeling they'll check first to see was it the Sovereign or was it just Tom King, and then let's be honest, when the sales don't pick up because it's Tom King doing Wonder Woman stuff, I get the feeling they're going to say, wrap up your story, you're done. I honestly don't see him lasting past issue 30. That's it.
Could I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
What issue is Tom King on currently right now?
I want to say 16.
16 is coming out, yes.
Okay. So we're not that far away from
We're all
20.
done at least with the Sovereign story because I'm interested because, hey, there were plenty of arcs in his Batman run that I really enjoyed. There were plenty of arcs that I didn't like. So really with Tom King, it depends on the arc in terms of if he writes a good story. I just really, at this point, I want to give people like a way to express their dissatisfaction. And I have had some people retweet and use the hashtag, so I really appreciate that. Britt and Jid and I are working on getting a few of the bigger Wonder Woman accounts on board, because if we get a few of the larger Wonder Woman accounts, and we may or may not be getting Snyder Queen involved with that, so I'm gonna check that out. So she'll help us out. So this has a very real possibility of working. Plus, again, DC cannot afford to like deal with like a big like outcry from the fans in this sense.
Which would you guys say is worse, City of Bane or the Sovereign?
Sovereign,
that's easy.
I care more about Wonder Woman than Batman. That's what. City of Bane is one of the storylines I enjoyed.
Even with all the 5G and future state stuff from editorial at the time.
Yeah, because I was because obviously I read City of Bane after 5G was canceled. So I was like approaching this. Okay, I'm gonna approach this just a singular story in this run. I'm not gonna factor in the 5G stuff. Isolated from that, it's pretty good, at least in my opinion. Question. Well, Tevye, he can't be killed because he showed up in the future with Adult Trinity. Now, here's the thing. Tom King has confirmed that, like, the Amazon that started this whole Sovereign thing, like the Sovereign incident, is going to return. Now, my question is, are they going to retcon it that the insufferable Adult Trinity is actually her daughter and, retcon it back? Or... in my mind, they should just retcon the character out altogether. Make her Cersei's daughter that Diana adopts or something like that. That's the way the storyline should have gone. But no, not only did they use the clay origin for Trinity, they based it around a man. That's why they named her Elizabeth Marston Prince, because King retcon that was the name of Steve's grandma. And Diana all of a sudden wants to have kids because Steve Trevor died.
Outside of a tribute to the creator and his creator's wife for Wonder Woman, outside of that tribute, you could have made the original origin with Elizabeth being Trinity's biological mother work. Would have been a little too close to Fury, for example. Yeah. But in concept,
I'm glad they didn't, because it's easier to retcon out if she's like the clay daughter.
But ultimately,
it is.
It just leads to a lot of dirtier connotations if you actually do use Elizabeth, because how Elizabeth ended up pregnant, how Elizabeth started that altercation with those bikers, which started.
Well, we already know she's pregnant. That's the thing.
Yeah, but out of context, it could lead to a very miscued interpretation, which I get. Which you can then see why Tom King. Okay, let's just use the Clay origin of retcon Trinity as the daughter of Diana and Steve.
Which no one wants that because Steve is literally
Lame.
yes.
Oh, the
thank
guy.
you.
Oh, the guy is a heel. There's no question about that.
Steve, as I always say, Steve Trevor, never.
He loses his relevance after Diana leaves the island.
Exactly. He is a plot device to get her off the island.
Now, if you go with the Silver Age, if you go with more of the Silver Age, where he was more of a mentor figure to Diana, okay, it works.
Or even in the Perez run.
Wait, was Perez Silver Age or was Perez Bronze Age? I think it was
Bronze Age, but
yeah, post-crisis.
Silver is pre-crisis, right?
Silver is pre-crisis, yes.
Yeah, so it was post-crisis.
Okay.
That was the good Steve. But anyway, so please use the hashtag if you don't like the run. If you like the run, I'm not telling you to do it. If you like the run, more power to you.
What if you have no strong feelings one way or the other?
I ask that you please do it. If you don't like Tom King as a person, definitely do this. If you don't like the Gunverse, do this because he is heavily involved in the Gunverse. That's just what I'm going to tell you there. The point is to get him thrown off the book. That's the point of this. Now, again, do not tag his editor. I don't want her to get harassed because that's not what this is about. You can, if you, I wouldn't tag Tom King. I mean, you know what? Do whatever you want with that. Do not harass anyone. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Do not harass anyone. I want to be clear. I'm telling people not to harass anyone.
Okay, I'm just going to cut to the bullcrap. Whatever you do on your own volition. We are not advocating for harassment. We are not advocating for anything. We are saying this unequivocally. Whatever you do on your own volition. We are not encouraging any harassment.
Good. Thank you. That's all I'm going to say on that. So tag DC. And then the hashtag again is I'll put it in the chat, as a matter of fact, if you guys would like to use it.
Are you going to do like a hashtag event or something?
We might actually. And
that might not be a bad idea.
Joseph says that the new trailer for Man of Steel 2 sucks. James Gunn lied. Hi, Jared. Hey, what's up? What's up, Joseph? How you doing? And this. Stay away from Absolute Wonder Woman. Yeah, exactly. Keep Absolute Wonder Woman pure. Keep her pure. In other words, away from the stink of Tom King's influence. Hate it. But anyway, so I think that's a good place to leave it. So Taladia Plays, where can we find you and what have you got coming on your channel?
Okay, you guys can check me out on YouTube at Taladia Plays. While coming up on my channel, I'll be doing a Marvel Rivals stream on Monday, and I'll also be doing my upload for the Marvel Rivals video over the weekend. And also I will be doing some collaborations with other content creators, including Real Talk Productions, as we will be talking about Power Rangers and whatnot in the future. And also in the new year, there'll be more Snyder Fans Read Comics. We're taking off 2 weeks for that. So
okay,
that's it.
Real quick, one more thing I want to mention. So Britt and I have come up with something very funny. So Wonder Woman under Tom King, she's not Wonder Woman. She's not acting like the character, so we're going to call her Unwonderful Woman. That's it. So, all right, JJheat, where can we find you?
Yes, you can find me on JJheat Blaze or JJheat75 on Twitter or X. Now, the New Direction verse Kryptonian Empire collab with Jared, because more than likely that's likely going to get pushed back to the new year because I want him to have time to get over his goal.
Real quick, live. Blue Beetle is also included in the death scene.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Yes, I
am. Okay. Snyder parallels aside, the New Direction verse Kryptonian Empire, that's going to be pushed back to early to mid-January. I will post in my community tab a final date on that. as well as a holiday movie review for Deadpool and Wolverine. I want to push that over to this Monday, but I'm working with other people I'm collabing with on my channel. We're trying to settle a date. If not, that'll likely get pushed back too, but I will let you know either way. But stay tuned and like, comment, subscribe, everybody. Thank you so much. And if y'all give me the 300 before the end of the year, I'll react to Velma on Twitch.
And Nick, how about you?
All right. So tomorrow I'll be streaming some Breath of the Wild. I'm taking the Monday and Tuesday off because Christmas. But next Friday I'll be returning for the year-end wrap-up. So yeah, make sure to catch me at 8 o'clock tomorrow on my channel. We'll continue streaming some Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. All
right. And for me, tomorrow's Saturday. Okay, so so we're gonna be talking about Planet Hulk, the animated movie. And then at 9 p.m., I will be going on the Lethal Geeks podcast to discuss all the news of the week and stuff with them. And for Super Wonder Legacy, Britt and I are going to be discussing why Superman and Wonder Woman don't have to be grounded, and we'll be refuting that argument throughout. So, stay heroic, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane, and Steve Trevor is Steve Never. She belongs with General Zod. Oh yeah, go ahead, Claudia.
I forgot one thing. This Sunday we'll be doing the podcast to Into the Multiverse. I totally forgot to remember that. So
okay, cool. So Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs to General Zod. Steve Trevor is Steven Never. Zois and Max Sabat for life. We will see you later.
Wonderman!